Welcome, everyone. It's so nice to have you part of another session that I have with one of our suppliers, vendors, and platform providers. And today it's a session that really has supported our agents throughout the year, but supported our agents in a way that many agents didn't realize the value of it. You see, the value of training, the value of knowledge is so important, not only on how to get a listing, how to market that listing, but the legal framework. To be able to understand exactly what that legal framework is, whether it's filling in a mandate or maybe you're dealing with a rental agreement, maybe it's something to do with FICA. Everything on the legal front is so important. Why? Well, we're actually dealing with probably one of the biggest sales that a client could ever do. And there's large amounts of money that gets transferred. And we need to make sure, as per the compliance of South Africa, that we do it in a legal manner. So joining me today is the person behind what we made reference to, Legal Friday, a term that has always been part of eXp pretty much since day one. And this year we've had a company that has taken this to heart, and they've really gone through it. So joining me today is Adri from Van Deventer. Adri, how are you doing today?
Morning, Stuart. I am very well, and yourself?
Always fantastic. There's no such thing as a bad day. It's always a good day. So before we get into the Legal Friday and how you've actually assisted the agents, give us an understanding of Van Deventer. Where did it come from? How long has it been in existence? Just give us a nice high-level overview of the company and practice.
Of course, Stuart. More than happy to do so. I think to start at the very beginning, of course, the company was registered in 2006 and officially incorporated and registered with the LPC as we are required to do. And it was established by Adri Van Deventer, who is still today our managing director at the firm. Adri started this initially as a company with his brother, the other Van Deventer, and it speaks very much to the values that we hold within our company, which are family values. It's the way we approach our clients and also staff internally. Initially, the start out was aimed and focused on conveyancing, the service of transferring properties, and the aim to eventually be on banks' panels and to assist with bond registrations. From there, we grew. We started a litigation department in 2017, which is now functioning completely on its own, has a big client base. And I think it speaks to, from our side, and the reason why we were so interested in starting that department, to be a one-stop shop for our clients, from a conveyancing perspective, right through to any litigious matters the clients might need assistance with. So that is pretty much what we do. We've also got, of course, the branch in Joburg, which I know you guys know and love. And then we've got a branch in Cape Town. And the staff complement between these two branches in total is 49 at the moment. We often get asked as to whether we intend on growing even bigger, being mindful that initially when we started this firm, it was only myself and the conveyancing secretary. And the question, or the answer to that at least, is that at this stage, no, we like being a medium-sized law firm because it speaks to those values that I mentioned and our slogan of being attorneys who care as much as you do. And there's a very specific reason for that. In order to really know your clients and be able to bond with your clients, know and anticipate their needs, and fully understand and appreciate those, there is a certain element of not being too big and anticipating those needs for your clients, adding that personal touch to every single engagement, every file we touch, and every client we engage with. We obviously are very big on the conveyancing side, but in Cape Town, we've also got a collections department that are up and running and doing quite well. So from a company perspective and what we do, the service offering, we are a law firm that can assist clients with any service that they possibly need, whether it is from a conveyancing, bond registration, transfer perspective, as well as litigation and collections.
Now, that was a mouthful, but that actually is giving a nice overall structure. And I know for many, you always just look at an attorney as, well, they're conveyancers and they're notaries. And that's kind of like where it stops. But litigation, and I want to just add on to it, I know it's not your department, but we know that from time to time, we do get these files that come past us that a buyer hasn't paid, or there's something that kind of unravels and we need that assistance. How important is this litigation department in supporting the conveyancing department to make sure that our agents actually get paid?
Still incredibly important and a very good point that you're making. As I said, the initial start with the litigation was having identified that need for our clients, whether it is a seller that needs to take action against the purchaser that is in breach, or vice versa, or an estate agent who needs to be protected in regards to their claim for commission where the transaction is not going ahead or one of the parties are in breach. From a conveyancing perspective, and I speak again to our core values within the firm, we are very much focused on constantly upskilling our staff. Speaking to my team specifically, I've got a number of ladies who are currently also studying towards the completion of the LLB, 2 ladies who have completed the LLB already. And the purpose of that is, of course, to ensure that when you're putting forward advices to clients, it is not just the conveyancing secretary that you are dealing with respect. You've got a legal professional that is assisting you. A lot of firms, I know it's rare that you're able to get the hold of the conveyancer directly for those legal advice and assistance. And we feel and have always felt that it is incredibly important that our team is properly upskilled and able to support our clients. As part of that service offering, our team also did training with our litigation department to make sure that where we need to attend to a breach letter, whether it is directed at a purchaser, a seller, that it is drafted in accordance with litigation principles, to be able to, when that matter escalates and further litigation is necessary, litigation can immediately take over from there. Being in one office and liaising with each other on a daily basis makes that so much easier. It is not another attorney that you need to set up a consultation with. It is all in-house. An immediate appointment is set up. Our litigation team is absolutely brilliant in immediately jumping in and assisting with whatever the need might be, whether it is for a client or for a property practitioner with regards to commission. They are ready to assist and get going. And speaking to the litigation department as well, in that team, the team has been compiled and structured in a manner to ensure that each attorney or associate from a professional staff complement holds a particular skill set that they bring to the team, being able to advise clients at an expert level on their needs specific to the relevant transaction, whether it is a family law related matter, wills and estates, or possibly body corporates. We've got someone that obviously is focused and specializes in those fields and are supported by a team of candidates, attorneys, and the necessary paralegals. So yes, that pretty much touches on that service offering.
Absolutely. And it's a great confidence when you're actually going forward, and if something does happen, going to a third-party attorney just means additional expenses. It also, more importantly, it's time that gets separated. So this is all together. Now, you also touched on an area which, and I've had this personally, having the bank codes, being able to do the bank deals so that you can do the bonds and all of that. That's a huge part of it. Now, there was a law that stated that, and it was a while back, that a conveyancing attorney couldn't do the bond registration at the same time. But correct me if I'm wrong, has that been amended? Is there a way that the same conveyancing attorney, obviously through their department, can also do the bond side of it as well?
100%, Stuart, yes. We've seen a significant shift, I think, from a bank perspective, their approach from a risk management side in regards to the allocation of these instructions. From a bond department side, we are on the NetBank and ABSA panels for bond registrations as well as the cancellations. I'm also very proud to say that we were onboarded to the ABSA commercial panel this year. Our bond department liaises and works quite closely with our transfer team, and the purpose of that is, I think it speaks to what I'm trying to bring across with the litigation aspect, being a department in our firm, that we want to be and bring that one-stop shop offering to our clients. If your purchaser is able to, of course, or is looking to bond their property in order to finance the purchase thereof, then to the extent that they are able to motivate for that instruction to be sent to Van Deventer, it can most definitely be done. We have seen special allocations being made primarily on that basis to ensure that it's also comfortable for the clients. They've got a one-stop shop for your purchaser. It's only one signing appointment in respect of both transfer and bond documents to avoid situations where your purchasers need to take off additional time from work or from their day-to-day to attend multiple attorneys for the signing of the transaction documents for the acquisition of that property. So yes, it's definitely part of the one-stop shop offering.
And that's such a powerful thing, because you're saving time. the biggest frustration, I remember when I went to go buy a property when I purchased a couple of years ago, had to go to the conveyancing attorneys to sign and then go through to a totally different town to go and sign with the bond attorneys. And that creates delay as well. So having it in one office, saving time is a big thing. But obviously, this is South Africa. I mean, we've got discounts. If it is something, are there discounts if they're doing both bond and conveyancing? And I know that I'm hitting on a little side point there, but do they get a bit of a discount because now they're just using one firm, even though it's two departments?
So Stuart, yes, sometimes we do allow a discount for the clients, being mindful that it is additional business that we're getting from a bond or transfer perspective if, for example, the bond attorneys were the first to receive that instruction. An element to consider, though, in that is that a number of the banks, and being mindful of the deal that was provided to that particular purchaser from a first-time purchaser, have onboarded loan products in terms of which the attorneys, in terms of their service level agreement, are mandated to automatically allow a certain discount for that purchaser. We've seen discounts go as high as 50% on the bond registration fees. And ultimately, it's still just to strike a balance with that. Unfortunately, from a conveyancing perspective, whether your deal is 1 million rand or 10 million rand, as our fees are calculated on the purchase price or bond amount, the amount of work that goes into that instruction is exactly the same. And to be fair to the team and the company, still being able to pay salaries and also balance the requirements as set out by the Legal Practice Council with regards to not allowing excessive discounts to clients without good reason. It's definitely something that can be done, but a few factors need to be balanced in achieving that. So yes, we're always willing to have a conversation, be mindful of those first-time purchases and how far a few extra 1,000 rand can go to set up the new house and to buy curtains or whatever might be required. It adds to that personal element. And I think our unique approach to each and every deal, being mindful of that client's circumstances, what it is that they are facing, and our ability to assist and give them something that they might not have received from someone else.
Absolutely. So it was really just a little stab in the side. You've always got to ask it because it does come from time to time. Now, one of the big areas that you've been working with us is over Legal Friday. And Legal Friday is really an area where it's hosted by the attorneys. The actual content is created by the attorneys and it's shared to the actual agent team. Now, you've been heading that up for us for the whole of this particular year, and it's been an amazing journey giving that knowledge to the agents, and the feedback has been phenomenal because
so happy to hear that.
Coming straight from the actual attorney. So give us a bit of a reflection over the year. What are the types of topics that you've covered over the last 12 months or 11 months?
Stuart, I think from my side, first and foremost, I want to say thank you for that opportunity. For us, and I think speaking again to our core values and vision as a firm, we are firm believers in giving back in whichever way we can. And partnering with agencies like eXp and having that platform where we can present training and give back in a way adds tremendous value to our day-to-day. It is time that we get to spend with these estate agents and hopefully add value to their lives and their profession, allowing them to be upskilled and informed when they need to advise their clients. And it's with that in mind that we structure the training. I'm also a firm believer whenever I am approached to present training, to first confirm if there's a particular need or ask, because anyone can present legal training, but it lands much stronger if it is relevant to what the property practitioners are facing and going through. So that is the first element that we always take into account. And then from the structuring of it, we're fortunate to have a nice guideline from a conveyancing perspective. Anything that affects our property practitioners that they deal with and speaking to their obligations within terms of the Act or the Code of Conduct, what they need to be aware of. With that in mind, we then set out the calendar for the training, and this year was a bit unique in that I elected to ensure that we involve associates and the professional staff from various departments as well as our Cape Town office to give the agents that benefit of having a face to the name and get a feel for that person. We always speaking to that personal approach and personal touch, the easier or the better you get along with someone, the easier it will be for you to trust them. And it's a free way for us to get that exposure and show people who we are and what we are about. In respect of the training program itself, I always like to, from a structure perspective, start off with where we would start our deal, which is at mandate stage. What are the requirements in that regard? The requirements in terms of the Act, Code of Conduct, and then we move on to the offer to purchase having been completed, what the common pitfalls were that or are that you can expect or experience possibly, and how to possibly mitigate and manage that. Touching also on the full conveyancing process, whether it is on the transfer side or the bond registration side, and also the associated costs that your clients need to understand, and for you as a property practitioner to be able to explain it to your clients. Furthermore, it was also the broader aspect of it, the ethical requirements in respect of your day-to-day dealings, the support during that transaction to your clients, the various issues you might come across as part of that, specifically aimed at the module we did on servitudes, the property due diligence that you need to do, and other how can you say, hurdles you might encounter, such as shortfalls, which we saw a significant increase in being very much alive to and aware of the economic climate that some of our clients are facing. So it is there to ensure that we upskill our property practitioners, give them the absolute benefits of that first-hand knowledge and exposure to the training material, the slides that we've compiled in an easily understandable manner that they can then use and obviously refresh on should they be faced with a particular scenario or circumstance. From our side as well, the guys that attended training with me will confirm that at the conclusion of every session, we made it very clear that it's always important, if they have become aware of a certain topic or a certain challenge that they are facing, to also reach out to our offices. As much as we might have this training program and based on other feedback from other clients, then compile the training module, it's important to know what you guys are going through on a daily basis to ensure that the training also stays relevant.
Absolutely. And that's a key word, relevant. You know, through all my trainings that I do, it's always relevance, you know, having those one-on-one conversations with agents and really seeing the struggles that they're facing and making sure that the training is actually relevant to them, and not being, hey, by the way, I know you've got a problem, we're going to be doing this, and we're just going to slam that in your face, and it's not relevant, which basically it becomes more of a waste of time. So that relevance is such an important part of the training program. And you know, going through all of those little topics, starting from the beginning, the mandates, then going right up to the offer to purchase, the legal transfers, and all those little abnormalities that actually come into things, servitudes, due diligence, etc. These are little things that empowers you as a real estate agent. When you've got this additional knowledge, you can actually have that high-level conversation with your clients, especially when you get into those situations where, hey, I've got a servitude. What can I do? Can I go and build on it? Can I actually dig it up and just move it to my neighbor's property? You know, what do I do with it? Is it something that it is a panhandle driveway, but I don't want a panhandle driveway going through my... All of these little things are things that you as property professionals need to understand and know. And that's the legal side of it. And what better way to get it is straight from the legal entities, because they're the ones that understand it at the much higher level. And that's the reason why we have the Legal Friday. So Adri, if you're reflecting back, was there any topic that for you could say, that's what I want to do? That's my favorite topic, the one that just really gets you almost excited. You could repeat it every single day if you can. Was there any topic that really stood out for you that you enjoy?
Stuart, there are actually two topics that I'm incredibly passionate about. The first one is OTPs. I love presenting OTP training. I think it's the full scope of what you will be dealing with. And it's also an opportunity for you as a property practitioner to ensure that your clients are very well aligned to ensure a smooth transaction for them as well. And provided that we've done our due diligence and that we are ready at conclusion of that OTP, you get to eliminate quite a lot of challenges that could possibly transpire, provided that you have properly done your due diligence. The second from my side is also the ethical conduct in relation to what we do on a day-to-day basis, whether it's from a property practitioner perspective as well as from an attorney side, touching on various challenges that you might encounter across the deal. You mentioned earlier the clients that might go into default where we need to issue a breach notice, and the all popular question as to a conveyancer now sitting with funds and whether the commission can just be set off against that. Those are real challenges that a lot of property practitioners face, and it's important that they understand their legal rights in those positions, what they can and can't do, and also to what extent the conveyancer must and is mandated to act versus what they cannot legally do, unfortunately. So those are the two, I think, if you were to ask from a reflection perspective, that immediately jump to mind. The guys that attended those sessions also know from a training material perspective, I always tell them that if you've got a story to relate to, it makes it easier to remember the legal principles. And I've got a number of beautiful transfer stories, horror stories actually, that I share in those sessions because it makes it easier to remember the legal principles. On the OTP side, speaking to movables and immovables, what is included and what not. I had a matter with a portable jacuzzi. So I discussed what we now refer to internally as jacuzzi gate as part of that training module. And then also in respect of other offer to purchase challenges, the completion of it, speaking to your seller and your purchaser capacity, where we're dealing with legal entities, sellers that become incapacitated, where we need to have a curator appointed. We've got a matter of 3 rivers, which I also discussed. It's such an amazing field, and our benefit is that because we deal with it on a day-to-day basis, we've got the benefit of having these stories that we can relate to our property practitioners and share them, hopefully landing the legal principles in a much easier, understandable way for them.
And I love that. Jacuzzi gate.
Indeed.
That is going to be something that I'm never going to forget, and I'm actually going to be bringing that up a few times. I just love that, giving it some kind of term that really brings it out there. So here you've got Van Deventers, family orientated, working not only from a legal front on conveyancing, but there's also litigation, assisting on the bonds so that you can make sure that you're saving time with your clients, as well as expediting, because that time saved is actually going to speed up a transfer process. Moving into the actual training side of it, where they've supported through the Legal Friday, going through all of those different aspects to empower you with that little bit of knowledge to help you in your journey. So Adri, let's look into the future. Where is Van Deventers heading towards? What does the future look like for Van Deventers?
Stuart, we are incredibly excited about our future. Speaking earlier to you guys will know in the name, there's the 2 Van Deventers, which are brothers. And we went through a split last year where the one brother left our firm. And it was done on the basis and the discussion between the brothers in respect of that particular principle, specifically where we are heading as a firm, what does the future look like, and a difference in opinion in that regard. And it left us where we are at the moment, which is a year that we used to stabilize, confirm what our commitment is, first and foremost to each other internally from a staff complement perspective, and also to our clients. I mentioned earlier our slogan of attorneys who care as much as you do, and primarily going back to our roots, why we started this company in the first place, to show, live and be that in every single engagement, and to bring that home with the staff. Because if we can't do it to one another, we will most definitely not be showing it to our clients. So that was the first element. It was a year of renewal for us, going back to our roots and refreshment. In respect of future growth, I do not foresee necessarily that we will be growing significantly from a staff complement perspective. It speaks much to what I mentioned earlier in staying in the medium-sized law firm capacity. It is who we are and who we have come to be known as well as being able to live up to our brand by knowing our clients quite well and ensuring that very personal engagement with our clients. For the new year, though, we've got a few amazing initiatives. We are launching, we've got a launch on the 22nd of January. We've got amazing guest speakers. I don't want to let out the information at this stage yet, so please do watch our social media pages. It is going to be amazing. We've partnered with, for example, that I will let you guys know, with the PPRA. We'll have representatives there. So all those of you battling with your Fidelity Fund certificates, we again, are looking to partner as we've always done and strengthen those relationships with our partners to ensure that whatever service we give to our clients is the absolute best that they could possibly expect and need. We've also got our bridging company that we work with on a very regular basis there to assist and advise and give you first-hand information on their service offering. And that is what we're looking to bring to the table, is to ensure that our clients are well aware of who we are partnered with, what their service offering entails, and how our clients can benefit from it, ultimately opening it up to our clients. We're continuing our drive to give back to the community, whether it is through training initiatives or other initiatives, of which we're also very excited about. Our firm has, for the past few years, participated in the Santa Shoebox initiative. We're very big on giving back and just showing people that we really do care and that we want to be part of the community. So yes, for next year, very, very excited. We've also, I think, speaking to that new and fresh and renewed approach, rebranded quite a lot of our stationery. So those of you that will be receiving diaries, you'll see it as a new, fresh look, very much for what we've got in mind for 2026 and what that will entail for us. A lot of amazing things have happened for our firm this year, and we've again, I think, just gone back to who we are, why Adri started this firm in the first place, and what he set out to achieve when he started the firm, ensuring that we're all committed to that brand and ready to show it to our clients.
No, fantastic. So there's Van Deventers for you. The whole journey from beginning to end and everything that's mixed into the actual middle. It's a company that's family orientated. And I know for a fact, I've used them in the past, definitely family orientated within the actual company itself. So to close off, we've got eXpCon 2026, which is literally 72 days away, I think it is. And I know now I'm time and date stamping this particular session with that. But are you going to be going to Cape Town? I know I'm throwing it out there and putting you in front of a bus and seeing if you're going to stop the bus or just get on the bus and carry on going. Are you going to eXpCon next year?
Stuart, I'm happy to report that I'm on the bus, unfortunately not under it. We will most definitely be in attendance, myself, Adri, and Andrea, our client relationship manager, and we are incredibly excited about that invitation and being able to meet the guys, spend some FaceTime. We've already booked our accommodation and we'll soon be also booking the flights. So very, very excited to meet everyone there.
Fantastic. So there you've got it. Come down to eXpCon in 2026, where you can actually meet the Van Deventers family from the top all the way down to the bottom. And there we go. Bongi's just shared into the actual chat box. I know that if you're watching this back, it won't be in the chat box, but I'm pretty sure that you will actually know exactly where that link is for you to actually join. Adri, I want to thank you so much for coming on to this particular session. Any final thoughts, comments, or words from you before we close up?
Stuart, yes, I think just being mindful of the sum of the year specifically. I know a lot of you guys might have deals at the moment that are in the pipeline, and all of those clients that are so anxious to ensure registration still this year. Unique to other years where the deeds officers normally communicated a last deal date for lodgement, of course, to ensure that the matter still registers this year. We got a very early date this year, which was the 2nd of December. So I just want to forewarn everyone, from our side, we have started managing clients' expectations in November already, so that the clients had the comfort of knowing whether they would definitely be moving or not, and to be in a position to make the necessary arrangements. Our offices will continue to communicate in respect of any deals that some of you might have with us as to what our plans are with regards to lodgement, but we did take a chance to try and push it out as far as possible, obviously carefully balancing any risks that we don't sit with the deeds office that also closes when our offices close, and that we are therefore at risk of possibly losing documents or not being able to ensure that the necessary payouts are made to the clients. So please keep an eye out for those of you that have got any active deals. As far as our civil attorneys go, a number of the bond and bond cancellation attorneys that we work with in the industry have communicated that their offices will be closing next week, Friday. So obviously lodgement dates and final registration is also severely affected by that, unfortunately. But I have been assured, as I know with all of our sisters and brothers in the legal profession, that everyone is very excited about 2026 and to resume operations. From our side and my side, and on behalf of Van Deventer, Stuart, to eXp, I want to say a sincere and heartfelt thank you for the opportunity to present training. Also this morning session, it is lovely to spend time with the eXp agents. And for those of you that have attended the training, I sincerely trust that you have enjoyed it. As always, my office stands. If you've got any suggestions in respect of training topics or something that you need assistance with, you know where to find us. We would love to show you our charm and sparkle of attorneys who care as much as you do.
Fantastic. Thank you, Adri, again for your time, for coming into the session and actually just opening the door, pulling back the curtain and really giving us a deep look into Van Deventers, exactly what's happening behind the scenes and how everything comes together. So this was another session from myself, which is covering a nice topic, which is obviously the legal training, the Legal Friday. And I'm pretty sure that you got some great insight into it. So stay tuned. We've got more sessions coming up with variety of suppliers, vendors, and platform providers that help you as the agent to, well, build your business and give you that professionalism that you require. So from myself, Stuart, I want to thank you all for coming on, and I cannot wait to see you in the next session. Cheers for now.